Hello and welcome to A Night Witness. I'm going to tell the story of St Michael's. Are you sitting comfortably? Then we'll begin. In the 1930s, a police station was built in Manchester. It served through the war and in the post-war years. Then the police moved out. 2 footballers came along, then it was 1. He turned it into a luxury office, hotel and apartment development with a tall tower. The end. Actually, I think there's a bit more to it than that. And I think it's good to tell the story in flashbacks. But first, we'll take a look around the site as it is today. We're on Bootle Street, next to the Friends Meeting House. And there's the magnificent police station facade. And it's been completely renovated and cleaned. It looks great, really classy. Reminds me of classy buildings down in London. And above that we can see the office development, which is being built on the top. It's now in operation, it's been officially opened. And there's the contrast between the 1930s stone on the right and post-2000s glass on the left. And the classical influence, actually going back to the late 18th century, I would say, which a lot of buildings in the 1930s were built in that style. And interesting shapes and forms with the gold around the windows. And as we look from the completed office building and panning to the left, then we can see the new tower under construction. We can see there's a link between the two with the stepped roof. I think it's actually got steps on it and there'll be roof terraces. The construction of the tower is actually well advanced, and the unifying factor is those interestingly shaped windows with the gold finish. Dwarfed by the new building is the Sir Ralph Abercromby pub, which under the original plans was to have been demolished, but then they changed their minds. The facade, police station facade, that was also going to be demolished, but there was a change of heart. More about that in a while. And there it is, the main entrance, number 1, St Michael's. Oh, they love to use number 1, don't they? And then we can see, panning around to the left, how the office building links up with the residential tower. Well, it'll be a hotel and residential. And there's some information here on the board. And it's called St Michael's. How did it get the name St Michael's? We'll find out in a while. And now we're standing on Jackson's Row. And I took photos here of the police station. And there we can see the passageway linking both sides, and just in the distance there, that's the rear side of the Albert Hall. And over here work is continuing on the tall tower, and just over there was the Reformed synagogue. It looks like there's some complex design work has gone into this building. Interesting construction. I'm just standing in the doorway of the venue. There's a service lift carrying the construction workers up to the building as it goes higher and higher. Had a quick word with one of the construction workers there. He had only positive things to say about it. He's been working on projects here for 15 years, he told me. So let's take a look at the project from the air. I've got quite a lot of drone images and photos to show you, so I'll let those play as I do the voiceover. So who is Gary Neville? Well, he's a footballer, TV pundit, and did you know that word's from Hindi? It means scholar or learned man. Yes, TV pundit, businessman and property developer. He was born on the 18th of February 1975 in Bury. Like a war veteran, he's highly decorated from his footballing years, but I'm more interested in what he's done since then. He's been a property developer since age 21. It's reported he's had involvement in over 60 different companies. His investment company is called Relentless. His property development company, Relentless Developments, co-founded with Anthony Kilbride. With Ryan Giggs and others, he co-founded the UA92 University in Stretford for young people who might not otherwise progress to third level education. His sister Tracy Neville is an accomplished high-level netball coach and received an MBE. His brother Phil Neville has also had a distinguished footballing career. His father was a cricketer. Gary Neville owns the Football Hotel next to the Old Trafford ground and the Stock Exchange Hotel in the city centre. It's reported that on the team plane flying to and from matches, while others played high-stakes poker, he was poring over architectural plans. As manager of Valencia, he was criticised for not being able to speak Spanish, and when the team kept losing, he was fired. But no one's perfect. If you have a career, there are going to be ups and downs, lessons to be learnt, as he would find out the hard way on the St. Michael's project. But now let's take a look into the past with a few flashbacks, maybe also look into the future as well. This is the police station site in 1932. We're looking from Bootle Street towards Jackson's Row. Those taller buildings are still there today. And now here's the police station under construction in 1937. The plain brick walls and windows look uncannily modern, don't they? The corner of the white facade is visible beneath the town hall clock tower. Here, the officers are on parade, presumably to mark the opening of the new police headquarters, which took place on the 16th of July, 1937. They are marching along the west side of Albert Square towards Cross Street. The pristine white stone facade stands out against its smoke-blackened neighbours. It was completed just in time for the war. The police played a key role during the Blitz. Here, officers are on duty next to a blitzed site. I'm not exactly sure where. Here, a policeman controls traffic. Recognise the location? Portland Street, maybe? Where it meets Oxford Street? No, it's London Road, next to what's now Piccadilly Station. A section of the 19th century frontage was preserved as part of the renovation which was completed in 2002. The new entrance is on the right. Here's the main control room. I presume it must be inside Bootle Street Police Station. Big wall maps, ladies taking emergency calls. These are the remains of the bomb-damaged Assizes Court, where you went if the long arm of the Manchester City Police caught up with you, and if things didn't go your way, you ended up in the building behind, Strangeways Prison. Both buildings designed by Alfred Waterhouse, architect of the town hall. Sadly, the magnificent Assizes Court was demolished in the mid-50s, needlessly. It's 1946. We're looking down Bootle Street towards Deansgate and Sunlight House. The Abercromby pub, incorrectly spelt here with an IE, on Sire's Court, and the facade of the police station on the right, where the entrance to No. 1 St. Michael's is now. And let me just remind you of that fast-moving police thriller, Hell is a City. It's a very entertaining movie, and it provides an uncanny window into late 50s Manchester. Let me do a quick spoof of a 1950s style introduction to a fictitious Manchester-based police drama. Manchester, grimiest city on the north. A city where honesty, integrity and hard work are the fundamental principles by which local people live. And here, at the headquarters of Manchester City Police on Bootle Street, a determined body of men wage a relentless and unceasing war against crime. Ah yes, the good old days, when cars were death traps. The average life expectancy was much lower than today, partly because most people smoked like chimneys, of which there were many in Manchester, and everywhere there was soot. In the air, on the buildings, on your shirt collar, in your eyes. But there was glitz and glamour on Market Street. The city centre had a special atmosphere which, despite changes down the years, it still has today. I first took photos to document the building in 2004. I must have been aware that the police were planning to move out. In 2014, Greater Manchester Police moved out of Bootle Street, as well as their Old Trafford headquarters, to a brand new, state-of-the-art building in Newton Heath, to the northeast of the city centre. It was announced that footballers Gary Neville and Ryan Giggs were going to turn the police station into a hotel. Sketches of a low-rise conversion emerged. But then new plans by Make architects were announced. There would be 2 monolithic towers of differing heights with a black exterior, which was soon dubbed the Tombstone Towers by protesters. As well as the old police station building, its magnificent white facade, the Abercromby pub and the synagogue would be demolished. A few thousand people objected, including me. After a high-profile protest campaign, they withdrew the plans. Harder Architects came up with a new design. These are the future visualisations. The synagogue was bulldozed, but that was with the agreement of the community, who received compensation and moved elsewhere. In 2021, Ryan Giggs resigned from the board of the development company Jackson Row Developments. Construction commenced in 2022. At the opening of No. 1 St Michael's in late 2025, Gary Neville said that it had been a learning experience, particularly coming from the world of football, where, in his own words, we just used to bulldoze through everybody. Relentless. He chose that company name for its positive meaning, determined, not standing still, not giving up on reaching for the skies. But the word also has negative overtones. The Cambridge Dictionary says it's continuing in a severe or extreme way. Let's compare this view of the site with the photo we saw earlier, taken in 1932, 93 years ago. The changes are incredible. The old buildings gave way to the new police station, which over the course of time became no longer suitable for modern policing, and was torn down, apart from the white facade. And the new development has appeared in its place. As my dad used to say, you should always give credit where credit is due. Gary Neville accepted the criticism, changed the plans, and the finished project is much improved. We've looked at the name Relentless, but what about the name St Michael's? It's been used as a brand by Marks and Spencer's since the 1920s. But why was the name chosen for this project? Well, as I'm sure you already know, Michael, also called Archangel Michael or Michael the Taxiarch, is an archangel and the warrior of God in Christianity, Islam and Judaism. The Book of Enoch lists Michael as one of the 7 archangels. The others are Uriel, Raguel, Raphael, Sariel, Gabriel and Remiel. Actually, I think we can just skip to the main information. St. Michael is the patron saint of police officers. So now you know. You could say it's a construction project of 2 halves. No. 1 St Michael's and No. 2 St Michael's. The first half has gone well, the team have made some good moves. The second half, well, we're hoping for even better. Could this be Gary Neville's crowning achievement? All in all, as one commenter on Place Northwest quipped, the boy done good. And at the end of the day, I had to get that one in, when the daylight fades, the project looks even better from the air, as seen from the Cinemaker drone. It looks like a ship, a vessel that has charted the choppy waters of concept creation, development, financing, design, bitter opposition, humble redesign, the planning process, construction, letting, certification, official opening, and finally, full operation. But it's not all over. No. 1 St Michael's is complete, but No. 2 St Michael's is still taking shape. So there's everything to play for. The tower will contain the W Hotel and the W-branded residences. W Hotels is an international hotel chain founded in 1998 in New York. So there's another connection with New York, in addition to the Nobu Tower, 5 minutes limousine ride away. Those windows, framed with bronze gold alloy, will extend up to the top of the tower with its curved facade. 41 stories, or is it 43? £400 million? 15 years in the planning. And so that's the story of St Michael's, just one small part of the story of Manchester, which has gone from grime to prime, from grimiest city to super prime city, as the offices at No. 1 St Michael's have been given super prime rating, along with a couple of others in the city centre. But will the new tower cast a shadow over Albert Square? Keep watching Aiden Eyewitness. Please like, subscribe, tell others and consider supporting the channel if you can. Information below. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und auf Wiedersehen in Manchester.